out swinging. Gage Wood no hits him, and the Hawks win it 3-0. The greatest game ever pitched at the University of Arkansas. Here in downtown Omaha, Gage Wood throws a no-hitter.
Their names revered, their spirits true, echoes of greatness in all they do. With courage and strength, they claim their place. Forever remembered, time cannot erase. In the Hall of Fame, where heroes shine, stories echo through the sands of time. The legends roll through the top of their game, eternally honored in the Hall of Fame.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
So I know a few of you have seen this already, maybe more than that. Gage Wood's cleats from his no-hitter are now going in the Hall of Fame. So just in the last few days, the Evo Boy wins the Golden Spikes. You have Norm DeBryan being selected for the College Baseball Hall of Fame. Tommy, this one's going to Cooperstown. They're putting these cleats in Cooperstown at the National Hall of Fame. Pretty cool.
Baseball Hall of Fame.
Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I said National. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Baseball Hall of Fame.
And when you
National
think about
Baseball Hall of
something that has not been done for 65 years, has not been done when metal bats before the last no hitter in Omaha was thrown with wooden bats, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have the metal bats, so
he's going to sell his hat, sell his jersey, sell his other stuff. Arkansas.
I don't know.
The cleats are going to Cooperstown. Where's the other stuff going?
I don't know it's a jersey, a keepsake that he keeps forever. Is that something university held on to so that they can auction at some point? I don't know. You're right. There's a lot of collectibles that are there. What about his glove? I mean, I don't think you give your glove up. He gave the ball to his dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Brian's got the ball.
But listen, forever and always, you'll have at least something that will be on rotation in Cooperstown.
Yeah,
you've made the Hall of Fame, son. You've made the Hall of Fame.
And I didn't hear Phil talk about this on halftime, but in reading in Whole Hog Sports, I think it was Matt Jones that Phil has donated his scorecard to the Hall of Fame. So you got two Arkansas related things now in the.
Hopefully that gets on display. It'd be cool to go to the Hall of Fame and see Phil Elson's scorecard. Have they asked for it, or is he just offering it? I haven't asked Phil.
I'm reading Razorback Sports Network baseball play-by-play broadcaster Phil Elson has donated his scorecard to the Baseball Hall of Fame as well.
That's pretty cool.
Hog Sports.
Something you wrote on, something you were a part of.
I was
in the Hall of Fame. That is awesome.
So following that game, it was kind of a cool perspective. I was sitting next to Phil at DJ's dugout for much of the not just halftime shows, but everything else this past week and a half or so, and he was like talking to me back and forth. Is like, I don't know if I keep this and donate this, and evidently that's what he's going to do. So cool moment. I know.
No, the Hall of Fame asks for something, you give it to him.
You give it to him. Well, I was thinking to tie that in. I want to tie that in coming up to something Arkansas sports radio related as we get going here on a Thursday.
Yeah, you can listen to us right here on ESPN Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith, 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 104.3 in North Central Arkansas, 96.3 in the southwest part of our state, including Hot Springs, Mena, and all of the Ouachitas. And you could also hit that Line Now app where you can listen online. You can watch us right now. It's brought to you by Taco Bell. There's more to Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Craving boxes. They've got you more than you even ever expected. Unless you're expecting the choice between 3 lavish boxes of Taco Bell favorites, they got you right there. They're spot on. Get the $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes now at a Taco Bell near you.
So when you think about items, obviously there's people like Norm DeBryan and Jeff Keane who appeared on with us yesterday. We're going to have Kevin Kopps join us here in just a few minutes. But I was thinking about items that belong in the Arkansas Sports Radio Hall of Fame. Came up with one of Clay's fly rods. It's his birthday, by the way. Happy birthday,
Happy
Clay.
birthday, Clay.
Grant Hall's newspapers, Rick Schaefer's binoculars.
Can you be a little more specific? Grant Hall's newspapers. What does that mean?
Well, oftentimes he reads more than any other. I feel like sports radio host. Often I feel like that's what kind of Grant's known.
You don't
for.
read?
Not as much as I should. Eddie in Clarksville's flip phone that he uses to call all radio stations across the state.
Surely he doesn't have an actual flip phone.
I think he does.
I don't know. I don't think those even work
Okay.
anymore.
The late Paul Eel's old KATV mic. I know that's not radio, it's TV. But when I always saw Paul, I always saw that KATV
that
mic.
handheld microphone.
Yeah, that handheld
Gotcha.
mic.
All right, I'm with you on that.
The Gaston's pause. I don't know, like something Gaston's related.
Okay.
We pluck a sign. What am I missing? 877-377-6963. When you think about Arkansas sports radio items, and if you want to venture off into just radio itself in the state, items that are iconic, items people know, items people think about.
B.E. in
What am I
Clarksville
missing?
says Ty Richardson's dictionary.
Or the
Lewis
one-
Automotive Group hotline open for more sarcastic suggestions. 877-377-6963. You think the Gaston's pause belongs in there?
I think it's 20. How long
Of
have you
all
been
the
doing
things I've done in
That's what I put down.
21 years or whatever working here and 30 some odd years of being in the radio, I probably get asked to do that more than anything for people when I meet them or take a video with them or whatever.
Yeah.
And you say I'm a first class time
I can't do it.
every time.
That's what someone just texted in. Whatever. Yeah,
Every time.
That's what someone texted in.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just think about it. Again, we can take these throughout the morning. What are some items
Somewhere
within
in
sports?
that closet on the other side of the wall to my right, or at least at one point, was Chuck Barrett's old Comrex unit that we had still on the shelf. That should go into a hall where he would the original sports wrap when we would do shows on location. I've still got somewhere around here is that piece of gear, that piece of equipment.
Yeah,
That could go in there.
Original Comrex unit from Chuck.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just keep them. Again, think about these.
Comrex unit's something you use to broadcast on location.
Yeah. We
For those not in the radio
Big
biz.
C says your referee whistle. That's a
Yeah.
good one. That's a good one, Big C.
Yeah.
Just think about it. Jason Vern Arkadelvia says the 96.3 ESPN sign on the original building.
Ooh, that's
And
still
the-
hanging there. I've asked him to take it down. They
still have it?
It's still there. Now it's
Okay.
kind of become legend.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get to some of these. We've got someone we want to talk to this morning. Former Arkansas Razorback pitcher, now a part of the San Diego Padres organization. Just had another Golden Spikes Award winner. He received a video, and Andrew Benintendi sent it to him back when he won in 2021. Now he got to send one to Vahiba Aloy. It's Kevin Copps.
Hey, this is former Razorback pitcher Kevin Copps, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Oh my God, it's the cops!
In his final season at Arkansas, Kevin authored one of the greatest years in college baseball history.
Two-thirds scoreless innings today. 22 consecutive scoreless.
The nation's lowest ERA and WHIP in 2021. 12 wins, 131 strikeouts, and 11 saves.
Let's just get right into it. Kevin Copps, 43rd Golden Spikes Award winner, All-American, went 12-1 his final year in 2021. He called himself an Arkansas baseball donor too. That's what he wants to be when he grows up. As he continues on, Kevin's currently with the El Paso Chihuahuas, Padres AAA affiliate. And Kevin, I know we were talking about this a little bit yesterday. The surreal moment, the full circle moment you had sending that video to Vahiba Aloy after you got a similar one from Andrew Benintendi 4 years ago. Just kind of take us through what that was like last week and how you felt for Vahiba, who experienced something you did a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's all still, even now, it's still like surreal to me. It was strange for me, to be honest, winning it when I was there, and it's awesome seeing Arkansas have three now in the past 10 winners, 3V from Arkansas, and so I saw him on the lists, and I was rooting for him, and it was cool to see him win it, and it took me a lot of takes, but it was fun to send him a video.
I was going to ask you about that. Was that it was a one take, but it sounded like it. And it's kind of nerve wracking, isn't it? Like, because you want to make sure, this is going out publicly. Like, there's going to be a lot of Arkansas fans seeing. They're going to give you a hard time if you butcher a word or something. So I can imagine maybe some angst or two that that you're feeling. So we go back to that. I wonder if you could share some perspective as well, Kevin. You've been through the draft process. Obviously, you're with the San Diego Padres organization. What's it going to be like for Vahiva, for Zach, for Gage as they get ready for the MLB draft coming up?
Even like with like my draft, I was still nervous, which I found strange because I knew I was going to get drafted, but there was still like a lot of nervousness. You know, I didn't really have any expectations, and I was still nervous. So I'm assuming that those guys are still going to feel those nerves. I mean, it doesn't matter, I think, where you're expected to go or where you go. I think you're going to be nervous. I think they should just relax and, you know, enjoy the whole thing with their family and celebrate no matter what.
Kevin, it worked out from you getting to play in your home state. And obviously, in minor league ball, you're traveling just like you would be in the MLB. And San Diego's a little out west compared to where you're from and everything. But, man, right now, it doesn't get much better than playing your home state, does it?
No, I always enjoy being in Texas. I enjoy the hot weather. You know, it is a little dry here, but yeah, it's nice being. I'm not super close to family, but in San Antonio I was. But you know, they get to come out and see me. It's not too bad of a trip.
I wonder, as you make your way, and like I mentioned, you're up at the AAA affiliate. Connor Nolan's also at that same level, a teammate of yours. When you play teams and you see former teammates, or you see guys you competed against that are on your same team, what is that like, man?
It's cool. I remember I used to see Zach Jackson a lot before he retired when he was with the A's. You know, he was up for a couple years, and then like the last year or two, he was with Las Vegas. So I just kind of catch up with him a little bit at BP. You know, just kind of say hi, and I see Jack's figures from time to time, so it's just kind of nice to kind of catch up and see him. But the minor league schedule is pretty busy, so it's really just like a little catch up, maybe after the game or during BP. But that's really it. But it's always cool seeing him, and it's hard not to, like, when Jax gets in the box, it's hard not to smile on the mound, like, just trying to stay locked in.
I love that, and we appreciate again Kevin Kopp's with us, taking time out of his schedule to talk with us, not just about Vahiva Eloy, but all things baseball. I wonder, Kevin, we had a chance to catch up with Jeff Keane yesterday, number 1 draft pick back in 1986. And Jeff hadn't been back to Fayetteville for nearly 40 years since he was drafted. You obviously have. You came back and you were honored during the Auburn game. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think you might have been back since then. Just going back for the first time, especially as close as it was to the season that you just had that concluded, what memories do you have just anytime you get back to Fayetteville?
Honestly, Fayetteville feels like home. I met my now fiance in Fayetteville, and we both really enjoy, the city and, the nature vibe that Fayetteville has, and the kind of the smaller city that Fayetteville and Rogers have. But every time that I come back, it just kind of feels like almost like when I was in college driving back to Houston. Now it feels like when I go back to Fayetteville, I get that same like home feeling.
Well, spill the tea on the fiance. You mentioned meeting her in Fayetteville. What was it at the end of your time here in Arkansas, or kind of how did that get to the point where you guys are engaged to be married?
She played golf at Arkansas, and that whole last year I didn't have a girlfriend.
You're all focused on ball, right?
Yeah, I stayed single for a little bit, really just focusing on baseball and, focusing on myself and my relationship with God mainly. And I wanted to strengthen that and get a firm foundation in God before I pursued anybody. And we connected, maybe after that first year, and, it was great since then.
That's awesome. Kevin, you mentioned outdoors and having that experience in Fayetteville. What do you like to do when you're not playing baseball, brother?
In season, it's tough. My free time, I play. I got the new Switch. Been playing a lot of Mario Kart. So that's what I do in season. But out of season, I like to go on like hikes with my fiance and my dog Bowie, just kind of being outside, maybe playing some pickleball. I also like horticulture. For people who don't know, that's just like I like planting trees and actually moss. I really like moss.
I would not have guessed that. Is that from your dad, Rick? Like, I feel like that's a very niche thing. Where did that come from, bro?
I don't know where that came from. I just kind of always enjoyed like planting things. Like, I wouldn't say more so like gardening, but like, like more, like trees or like, I don't know, planting things in the backyard. I don't know. I just like taking care of plants. I think it's beautiful. I think it's, it kind of reminds me of, God, and, so it's just kind of peaceful to me.
Okay. Who's the Mario Kart character we're using when we're racing?
It used to be Yoshi. Now it's a little ghost called Peepa. I've never seen this character before until now, but yeah, it's a little ghost.
There's a lot of updates since that game initially came out. Mario Kart 64 looks a little different than how it does now.
Yeah.
Kevin Kopp's with us here in the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Kevin, take me back to Charlie Welsh's bomb. When you saw Charlie hit it out, I mean, what were you experiencing? What were you feeling back 40 years ago?
So I spent my time in a tunnel in between innings, so I didn't actually see it, but I could hear it, and I saw Charlie go up to the plate. And I'm sure I wasn't the only one, but Charlie was amazing that year, especially in like pinch hit, clutch spots. And when I saw him go up to bat, you just knew something good was going to happen. And then I'm just kind of watching from the tunnel, and I just hear the stadium erupt, and it just felt like a breath, like a deep breath, like. Felt like we were going to win. Now I really was like, we're going to win.
You're like, I got to close this thing out. Oh man,
I was pretty locked in. Yeah.
Kevin, is that the loudest you've ever heard a baseball park ever get? That moment?
It's strange. On the mound and stuff, you don't really hear a lot. It's kind of strange to say, honestly. The one that stands out to me the most was actually in 2017. I don't know why, but we're playing Vanderbilt, 8th inning. We turned a double play, and I had to cover first. I don't know if it's because I had to cover first, but Spanberger threw the ball to Jax. Jax threw it back to me, and I caught it, and that's the one that stands out the most. And I think it's just because most of the time everything is my senses are very dulled on the mound.
As you bring up 2017, I think people remember you so much for 2021. But you mentioned Biggers. You obviously played with B. Knight, who we had on a week or so ago. I mean, you've got a lot of teammates that have been through it. And you think about it, you went to 2 College World Series, 2018, 2019, right? And then obviously 2021, number 1 team in the country. Just like what was that ride like from losing Missouri State in 2017 to, if I remember that right, to being a part of those College World Series teams, having the number 1 team in the country? I mean, the ups, the downs. I mean, how would you characterize your experience at Arkansas?
My experience was unbelievable, but as far as the rides, I think when you're young, as a team like Arkansas, you're always expected, to keep winning. So it's hard when you don't make it to the College World Series. You don't feel like you succeeded as a team, and I think even when you make it there and you don't win, there's some level of, you feel like you fail, even though in the grand scheme of things, you're still a successful team. So I think as a young player, it's hard to see that perspective. And I think when I was young, it was really hard to see those things and not see the grand picture of it all. Like, every team continues to build, the legacy that Dave Van Horn has built, like all the College World Series appearances he's had, all the NCAA appearances he's had, like we were talking about earlier. Arkansas has 3 out of the past 10 Golden Spikes Award winners. And I think, it's hard to see that the true building of what the program is when you just see those last games as a loss, So I think looking back on it, it's easier for me, but in the moment, it's always hard because you always want to win.
I think that's great perspective, especially after your career, and you're almost taking me back a little bit. Kevin, I wonder, like, you're always going to be a Razorback. I can just tell by the way you talk. I can tell by the way you talked back when you were playing and directly after, and 40 years later, like wanting that championship for Dave. I truly believe this team was going to do it this year. I mean, they had every piece, pitching, hitting, fielding. They were as complete as a team as could be, maybe dating back to that 2018 team you were on. Is there a sense as a former player just wanting and not willing, but just to want him to see that get first time? Because you just gave a great perspective there. I wonder if you have one on that.
For me, I think I won it not for the university or not because I went to Arkansas, because it'd be cool to go, oh, Arkansas has a title. I won it for Dave, I think, the most, because he's so deserving. And so I think that's what I want it for. And that's who I want it for. All the other things, just kind of come with it. But I really want it for Dave. I think that's my perspective on it.
Kevin, before we let you go, we got a fun thing to ask. Where's the Kevin Kopps bobblehead? I know you have one. Where's it at? Is it on your desk? Do you keep it as as like a Lucky Charm in your travel bag? Where's the Kevin Kopps bobblehead at?
My dad has a little office in their house, and I give pretty much everything to him. He really helps me put everything in perspective because of how proud he is of me. Because, like I was saying earlier, sometimes as a player, your achievements don't feel like achievements, or you feel like you're supposed to do those things. So when I give all those things to him, and he collects them, and how proud he is of me, makes me happy. So he has like a little trophy room for me.
Little shrine of sorts.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, Kevin, we'll leave it there. I still remember talking to your dad 4 years ago, and there's maybe the greatest picture side by side I've ever seen of you guys in Omaha one year when you were like 10, and then versus when you were actually a player for Arkansas. It's so cool. And not that other sports, not that dads can't bond over football, dads can't bond over basketball, because my dad and I bonded over basketball, but like that sense you get of a father-son moment or moments in time when it comes to baseball, there's nothing like it, is there?
No. I can't even describe it. It was so perfect, and I think that's, a testament to who my dad is, just always believing in me and, doing the most for me, and it's hard to appreciate it when you're younger, but as I grow up, you start seeing things, and then we get those two pictures together and you're like, wow, like that's my hero,
Now, I'm sure he's going to love hearing that. Kevin Kopps, 43rd Golden Spikes Award winner, obviously an All-American consensus by every publication in his final year at Arkansas. Kevin, we appreciate you joining us, man. Best of luck the rest of your season with the El Paso Chihuahuas, and can't wait to see the news break at some point when the Padres pull you up.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
Great to hear from Kevin Kopps. Great job, Ty. A lot of great conversation there.
He did all the work.
I mean, it's getting to spend a few moments, one of the recent legends in Arkansas baseball and really Arkansas athletics. Hey, real quick before we go, celebrate freedom and fun with the Red, White, and Blue sale at Burton Pools and Spas. Cool off at a Doughboy above-ground pool, now up to $1,500 off, or dive into summer with a semi-in-ground pool starting at just $190 a month and get a free heater with select in-ground pools right now. It's Burton Pools and Spas. 4 locations, Fort Smith, Springdale, Hot Springs, and Greenland. It's all online at burtonpools.com. We'll react to Kevin Kopps and our conversation with him. We'll do that next on The Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
All right, you go do the research.
You're listening to The Morning Rush. This is The Morning Rush.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
The Neumeier family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Neumeier's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Neumeier family.
Whether you're opening your first checking account, purchasing your first home, saving for your first big vacation, or opening a new business, First Star Bank offers hometown service with the latest in digital banking technology. Our local team makes banking fast, convenient, and easy. From simple everyday banking to helping you fulfill your dreams, our team is here to guide you every step of the way. First Star Bank. We'll be there through all your firsts. Learn more at firststar.bank or stop by one of our local branches today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at precisiondoornwa.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Hey everyone, Braden Webb here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. You may remember me from my days playing baseball for the Hogs. Now I'm hitting home runs for AAA Business Systems and enhancing the ways company do business in our area. If you want to partner with the best office technology provider in Northwest Arkansas, call me today at 479-442-4185. Let's win together, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
All the time he loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
107 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody will pick Dewey.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Someone asked me what I would be doing if I wasn't playing baseball. And actually, Clay Goodwin asked me that, what I want to be when I grow up. I think his daughter asked. I said a Arkansas baseball donor.
That was Kevin Copps talking to KATV, I think after he had won the Golden Spikes. We just had him on. Really good stuff from Kevin. I know he's busy with minor league baseball and everything right now, and he was in El Paso as they get ready for one of their games, I think, tonight. So good stuff from Kevin. Anything stand out? And that I thought it was just how he kind of honed in on DVH at the tail end of that conversation.
Yeah, and I mean, you talked earlier in the interview about just the life of college baseball at a place like Arkansas versus minor league baseball, and everybody thinks it's a big step up, and it is your dream, to go all the way and play in the bigs. But there's a lot of challenging hurdles. And I think when you play at a place in the SEC that has the best facilities like Arkansas, it's a little underwhelming once you get to the pros and you're busting everywhere, and they don't have a pitching lab at all. They don't have near the facilities, near the clubhouse, near the resources. I think that was interesting to hear him talk about that. Then the part at the end about it hit home with me about how he does everything, how proud he is that his father's so proud of him. You ask him where the bobblehead was; it's in his father's office. First of all, it'd be cool that someone would want to create a bobblehead of you for some accomplishment you've made in life. But then, to have that, that's a sense of, hey, I've done some things right when your dad's so proud of all those accomplishments, keeps it, and as he said, keeps me in perspective.
Yeah, and I know that the College Baseball Hall of Fame is relatively new. You were telling me it's less than 2 decades old, but I would think that both him and Andrew Benintendi, even though that, Kevin and Andrew both had an awesome year in 2015 and 2021, but seasons unlike we've seen at Arkansas, and I would think that both those guys could eventually be on the list down the road.
For a player, you got to be out 15 years. For a coach, it's 75 years old or out. 2 years or 5? So many years you got to be out or be 75 to be eligible for the College Baseball Hall of Fame under the current rules. So it's going to be quite a while for some of these players that we think of, like a Benintendi, like a Copps, maybe an Aloy. Those three should come to mind because they're Golden Spikes winners. I agree they'll probably eventually get in, but it's going to be the better part of 20 years before you'd even see the possibility for that to happen.
You think
Dave Van Horn? It's not going to be anytime soon either. He's 64, and even if he retired tomorrow, he's got a few years to wait. So enjoy this with Norm DeBryan, because the likelihood of it happening again in the next 2, 3, 4 years is probably minimal.
You think Gage's cleats have made it to Cooperstown yet? You think they're there? Do you think they've been shipped? How are they getting there?
That's not a detail I've thought about, but I would imagine it's you got to sign for the box,
Just to be safe. For those that don't know, Gage Wood's cleats are being donated by him or the university. I don't know which one you want to look at it to go to Cooperstown to the National Baseball Hall of Fame. So I know that was a cool thing for Arkansas baseball fans to see yesterday. In addition to that, Phil's scorecard is also going to be there as well. So I know that's a cool accomplishment for one of our coworkers and friends here at ESPN Arkansas. Continuing on here, our Hog Update, Remy Cofield. We're going to get a chance to talk with Mr. Cofield coming up at 1 o'clock today. For those that don't know, Remy is the Deputy Athletics Director and General Manager for Arkansas. What that basically means is he's going to dictate and decide where the money is allocated from the revenue. Am I saying that right?
I don't know if he's going to dictate and totally decide, but he'll work with the coaches and the programs, and he'll oversee it. Now, he probably gets to be the bad cop publicly and with the players and their agents, but he is a buffer between the coaches and the players and their agents, their teams, their representatives. Is he going to have a large hand in deciding how much money a player gets, what their value is? Absolutely. But if you think for a minute John Calipari is not going to have a say in how much a player may get, we're being naive. If we say that. If Dave Van Horn doesn't have some input, we're being naive. But now he serves as that buffer that coaches don't want to deal with their players' agents. Now he gets to do with that.
All right, last thing here. Arkansas softball get a big addition. Dakota Kennedy, who's a 2-time All-American from Arizona, has signed with the Razorbacks. So Courtney Dipel's added a few key pieces in the offseason. I know they're going to lose a lot from this year's team, so they are bolstering that roster to hopefully make a run at Oklahoma City for the first time in 2026. All right, that is your Hog Update here on a Thursday. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Draft was kind of boring last night, being that you didn't have a Razorback draft that I was hoping to do would come off late. He didn't. Cooper Flagg went number 1 like everyone thought. And
he was like on the Bet Saracen app. I don't know if they had it there, but I heard someone mention the coverage. He was minus 50,000 to be number 1. So first taken, minus 50,000. So that's I don't think anybody was probably wagering too much on that. So you can go to the Bet Saracen app right now. Full lineup of Major League Baseball is there. Plus the You an MMA guy? You like those things?
You want? Sure.
They got the Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez match up there as well. So I'm kind of like you. I can take that or leave that. Plus WNBA. It's all there with Bet Saracen, Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. It's online, betsaracen.com.
All right, when we come back, we're going to get into your Morning Rush daily question. We'll talk more about Remy Cofield, maybe some questions that you have here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Also want to jump back into the question that we asked earlier. What Arkansas sports radio items would be in the Hall of Fame? All that's coming up as we continue on next.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Why do you ask questions like that? This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Storm season is here. Is your roof ready? Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has wrecked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They have the #1 certainteed roofing company in Arkansas. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full certainteed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with Certainteed. Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Do you want a fireworks display that will have your kids thinking you're the coolest parent in town? Then listen up. Hey, this is Coach Olenek, but you can call me Doug. I'm one of the co-founders of Fat Boys Fireworks in Van Buren, along with my friend Dwayne Froud. We have the largest kids table in the area with all the novelty kid stuff. Come see what we mean at 5524 Highway 59 North in Figure 5, Arkansas. People tell us all the time, I wish I would have come to Fat Boys first. Fireworks.
Oh, look, fireworks!
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Adventure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth wheel dealer, Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. No matter the size of your family or your budget, Wheels RV has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors. And with our exclusive lifetime warranty on every new RV, you can hit the open road with peace of mind. Come see us at 412 in Tawnytown or check us out at wheelsrv.net. See, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Summer is here, and Gelco Outdoors has the outdoor gear for you. Hiking boots by Salomon, running shoes by Under Armour, fishing shoes by Extra Tough and Under Armour, dry fit fishing and outdoor clothing by AFCO, Ariat, Drake, Hook, and Under Armour. Take advantage of the hot summer deals on summer clothing with buy one, get the second at 50% off. See store for details. For all your summer fishing, Gelco has the gear. Hunters, get ready for bow season. Gelco Outdoors, your one-stop summer store. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
TGI Fridays on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith now has meal deals starting at $9.99, which includes an entree, side, and fountain drink. Try their delicious 6-ounce sirloin served with seasoned fries for $15.99. The Bacon Ranch Chicken Sandwich with seasoned fries, $11.99. Chicken Caesar Salad for $10.99 and more. Their meal deals also include tasty chicken fettuccine Alfredo served with garlic breadsticks for $12.99 and a cheeseburger with seasoned fries for only $9.99. TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nathan Christian's place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
I was talking to Kevin Copps earlier in the show. He's got a bobblehead that Arkansas baseball made honoring him and how great he was. If somebody was going to honor you and create something, what would you want? Would it be a bobblehead? What would you want if they were going to have a fan giveaway? If we're going to have a listener giveaway today for Ty Richardson, and they were going to get a keepsake. Would you want a coin? Would you want a shirt? A T-shirt with your image on it? What would you want on your dad's shelf in his office?
My mug shot. Matt says a ketchup bottle for Thai steak.
Yeah. Get a ketchup bottle with your picture on it. Thai steak sauce.
Probably something pizza related. Like
a pizza with your head on it?
Yeah. One of the coolest gifts I ever got was my old roommate. He gave me a monogrammed pizza cutter that has Thai Sports Radio on it, and it was only like $15, but I still have it to this day. And as much pizza as I eat, it's about the coolest gift I've ever received.
If you need a pizza cutter, if you order pizza,
yeah, but I cook.
How much pizza do you make?
Usually at least one frozen.
Or you make
pizza
frozen pizza? Gotcha.
Throw it in there.
All right.
I don't really make pizza, but frozen pizza. Brian Perger wants a beer named after him. So
a beer? That'd be cool.
Something pizza related, since it's my favorite. It's the best food out there.
I would probably want maybe a barbecue platter named after me. I don't know. Maybe that'd be
a dish somewhere is what I was
thinking. Dish of some sort.
So when you walk into Herman's and they have they've got I think Coach Pittman, Coach Cal, I think DBH has one. They've got Nick and Carrie have each of the menu items labeled by the coach. So
yeah, a menu item at a famous haunt like Herman's. That would be probably as good a legacy as
Can
anything.
I change mine? Can I tag along with yours? I always, when you go to these restaurants like Herman's and like Phil's is my favorite spot in Baton Rouge. There's various spots across the SEC that are plastered with famous former players, former coaches, broadcasters, and all this stuff. Just to be up on the wall at one of those places would be cool. But I like that. I like the name. I like the name, your title with the particular restaurant food. It's got to be good.
We'll see if we can get Nick at Herman's to name the mac and cheese after you.
Can I get Madame Tussauds to sculpt my likeness out of wax?
Ooh,
that'd be pretty cool.
That's cool.
Too.
A wax sculpture.
Seth in Fort Smith. Seth, this is a good one. You need to talk to Papa's Pizza about naming a pizza after you, either as a Richardson special or Ty's Pie. I like Ty's Pie.
Ty's Pie.
Tell them exactly how you want it.
What would be on Ty's Pie?
Pepperoni, mushrooms, rib rub, and probably bacon. Yeah. And
probably? It's your pizza.
Darn near burnt, too. So that
Yeah, I'm with you on the crispy
You got to
part.
do it that way.
Yeah.
I don't like you hate when your kids order cheese. You look at them, you're like, you're not my offspring. I get really annoyed.
Cheese pizza.
Yeah,
What a waste.
I get really
It's just
annoyed.
the base of the pizza. You have to add more on top.
Right.
Exactly. Thank you, Colt.
They give you one free topping.
I get annoyed. Tommy's Tomahawk ribeye is what Preston says.
Tommy's Tomahawk ribeye. I like that.
I get annoyed when people don't
Put
cook.
that on the menu at Doe's or something.
Yeah, they don't cook their pizza long enough. It's like too doughy and gooey up top.
No, I'm with you.
You see some crispness.
Well done.
Yes, exactly.
I like most things medium rare. I'll take my my chicken and my pizza. Well done.
Okay. All right, that is a good Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily question. If you had your option to have an item of any sort, food related, sports related, named after you, what would it be? Cart Pass Social, number one place you could play indoor golf in Arkansas, 122 Grant Place in Lowell. They are going to be open 4th of July weekend, 4th of July till 7 o'clock Friday? Next Friday, this 4th of July, right? And then they're also going to have the rest of the weekend open, normal hours, so you can take advantage of Christian and Nate's place at Cart Path Social. Number one indoor golf destination, BYOB. Check them out at cartpathsocial.com. All right, so yesterday we did the first 6 games. We asked Chat the first 6 games, first 6 outcomes for the Arkansas Razorbacks. He has you 3-3 through the first 6, right? Right, Colton? Okay. How are the final 6 games going to pan out for Arkansas football, according to Chat? After playing Tennessee, you come back. I think there's a bye week sandwiched in between, and you play A&M at home for the first time since 2013. Chat, how's it going to go?
Game 7 versus Texas A&M on October 18th. Nice home win. No fake militants or border collies can save them. A&M shows cracks in their offensive line and quarterback consistency. Arkansas front 7 is peaking, ready to generate pressure.
That would be the only second time you've beaten A&M since they joined the SEC. And maybe that's just the thing. You got to play these guys at home other than Dallas. You beat them once in 2021. But that sounds great, Chat. What say you?
I mean,
on
a
board
win
for that?
over A&M, I'm always in.
All right. What about Auburn? Auburn's in an interesting situation. Year 3, Hugh Freeze, 5-7 last year, including a loss to Arkansas, where that kid that was talking you-know-what before the game ended up throwing like 5 picks. I think 4 of them were to TJ, who unfortunately is now at Michigan. How does it go against Auburn?
Game 8 versus Auburn on October 25th. Massive W. Remember last year when Hugh Freeze said if they had played Arkansas 9 more times that they would win 9 times? This is not one of those times. Cam Newton ain't walking through that door. Hogs win by 2 scores.
Ooh.
2 straight. 2 straight. So what are you now sitting?
They get Hugh Freeze fired.
You're 5-3 right now, Tom.
You're 5-3 right now? Okay. Now the boys from it could. It could happen.
Could get Hugh Freeze fired.
Yeah, Arkansas always seems to get a coach fired.
Yeah.
Joker Phillips.
What happened to him? He lost to Arkansas.
Gene Chizik. There's been a couple coaches over the years that have lost to Arkansas and gone. All right, Mississippi State comes to town.
Who was why am I drawing? Brian Harsin, another one you could add to that Auburn list.
I remember being in Auburn for that game 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was looking at my buddies that were me there, and they're like, yeah, he's done. He's done. All right, how does it go against the Bulldogs and Jeff Lebby?
Game 9 versus Mississippi State on November 1st. Another win. Hogs muzzle the Dogs with the ground game. I mean, who loses to Mississippi State on homecoming? Right? Look for a big game from the Arkansas defensive line.
It's kind of lame that state's your homecoming, but at the same time,
AI helping us out here this morning. Are you liking the theme? And because it seems like it's getting a little more positive in the second half than the first half.
Well, Cole and I were talking about this yesterday. I like that stretch of A&M, Auburn, Mississippi State. Auburn's, I don't think, going to be any good. Mississippi State is not going to be any good. And A&M, you're not playing them in Jerry World. So it's not a bad stretch. So you're 6-3. You mentioned the positivity.
Yeah.
Does it wane?
Did Rick Schaefer get in here and mess with our chat GPT? Is that what's happened?
Well, I think it's things change once you start
Definitely
playing.
not Ruskin and Zach messing with it.
No.
Game 10 at LSU on November 15th. Loss. LSU is dominant at home. The Razorbacks struggle to contain LSU's powerful passing attack in a hostile Death Valley environment late in season. We turn to Cal to avenge our fallen Omahogs.
I will say it is a game at 11 a.m. Chat. So we'll see if it's hostile because it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be hostile. I do think Garrett Nussmeier's going to have his way with Arkansas, but we'll
at
see.
least it's early. At least the at least the loss would be out of the way. We can move on to something else by 3 o'clock.
There you go. All right, you go to Austin. Take on Arch Manning.
All right, turn your radio up here.
How does that go?
Game 11 at Texas on November 22nd. Hogs catch an L.
Oh.
Texas remains a top 10 team with an elite and physical front seven. Arkansas will find it tough to keep pace. Unless the Horns fall asleep between matchups against Georgia and rival Aggies.
Ooh.
If they do, then rest in piss, dumbass cow.
Thank you.
AI a little salty there.
Yeah, and
thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Chad. That's what I've been saying about this game for months. Georgia, A&M. That's where that Texas-Arkansas game is sandwiched. That shouldn't be what I'm holding on to as an Arkansas fan, but I am. All right, so you're 6-5, rivalry game, Battle Line rivalry, brought to you by Shelter Insurance. How does it go against the Missouri Tigers and Eli?
Game 12 versus Missouri on November 29th. Hogs notch their 7th win. The week before, Drink will mispronounce Sam Pittman as Ham Pittman. It's a final home game with motivated senior heavy group. Arkansas outpaces Missouri in trenches, tempo, and crowd support.
Oh, that would be so
Ham
great.
Pittman.
Yes. I hope that leading up to that game, that Drink does something that ticks the Arkansas. And I thought he did it last year when he called him Talon Green. But
Chat.
So where's Chat right and where's he wrong? And that 7-5.
7-5.
If this team goes 7-5, I will
take
be
it right
ecstatic.
now? Who would take it right now? Lost to Texas, but you beat A&M. You get Arkansas State. You get the 2 early ones. You beat Memphis too, right? You're 3-0. Lost to Ole Miss, if I remember from yesterday.
Yeah. So you're 3-3. The first you lose to.
You go 3-2 because Notre Dame. I think yesterday Chat said stomped you.
Mm-hmm. You lose to Tennessee.
And lose to Tennessee. So you're 3-3, and then you reel off 4 of the last 6.
Yeah.
They remember what you do in November, right?
Hands up, like you said. Who takes it?
7-5.
I'll take it.
4
I'm in favor.
4-2 in the last 6. I'm in.
Just make it happen, Chad.
So that would also be 4-4 in league play, right? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
Which, unfortunately, Arkansas, if that played out, still it would be a decade long that you haven't gotten over 500.
What are we going to do if Chat gets every one of these right? What if AI went 12 for 12 on these predictions?
We're going to hammer the last game of the season. I'm going to put my life savings on that Missouri game.
Both dollars, right?
So all right. So I give you, I'm not going to put Texas in this mix. If I tell you can beat Missouri, LSU, or A&M this year, who do you want? LSU's on the road in Baton Rouge.
Is Missouri the wrong answer?
They're going to be good. They're going to be around 10 wins.
Final game, home game,
senior day, senior night.
Don't like their coach.
I'd still take the A&M game, but honestly, I'd almost put LSU in. And I say that because LSU might be the best team in the Southeastern Conference this year, so maybe I'm way off base, but I'm letting my personal vendetta against that school's program in College Station get the better of me here. And I would take the A&M win because you beat them one time since they joined the SEC.
Well, if all this talk's got you planning some trips for the fall, the Inn at the Mill is the place to call right now.
You don't get Chat DPD.
Don't
you
mess
get
around. You get Jennifer. There's no AI when you call. Call Jennifer right now, 479-443-1800, and start booking those rooms for all those home games that are, 63 or 2 days?
65.
65 days away from the first game. I mean, let's get with it. Come on, let's go. 479-443-1800. The Inn at the Mill, the perfect place to stay in Northwest Arkansas, centrally located to everything. The Inn at the Mill, 443-1800.
All right, so we got some good feedback on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Gage Woods cleats are going in the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. If you had to select an item or two from Arkansas Sports Radio, what would you put in the Hall of Fame? Items, not people. Items. We've got a few others that we'll get to coming up. Hour 2 of the Morning Rush is next. Tom Murphy's going to join us as well. Stay with us.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, The original Baby Shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Since 2009, the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery has provided more than $1 billion in scholarships to thousands of Arkansans just like you. So thanks a billion, Arkansas. If you'd like to apply for the scholarship, simply go to sams.adhe.edu and fill out the information. And just like that, you're applied. The deadline's coming up, so don't forget. Apply now at sams.adhe.edu.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I have enough trouble deciding what's for lunch. Imagine how stressed I was during the home buying process. Thankfully, Jeff Marks at Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, took the reins.
That's right, Ty. Buying or selling a home is the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. I have years of experience and proven expertise that help guide you through the process.
All my female friends love my house. I'm not kidding either.
Trust me like Ty did to guide you through every step of the way. Call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. Big decisions, simple solutions.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Where can you get good neighbor service and surprisingly great insurance rates? At State Farm, because State Farm agent Heath Roberts is your one-stop shop in the River Valley for the service you deserve at the price you want. So stop looking around. State Farm agent Heath Roberts is ready to help. Call 479-452-4088 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
You pay what we pay. Employee pricing is back at Harry Robinson's, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. This is where you get the best deal on a brand new Ford with employee pricing.
Yes, definitely. You know, come down here and see us. Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, employee pricing on the new Fords that we have left in stock. Come and see us. I mean, I'm telling you, you're not going to want to buy a new Ford anywhere else. We want to take care of you. We don't want to just get you the best deal on the vehicle you're purchasing. We want to give you more for your trade. We want to give you the best customer service. You know, it's the hometown advantage. We've got to take that little extra step to make sure that you're getting the best experience when you're coming to buy a vehicle.
Employee pricing will save you thousands.
Yes, employee pricing will save you thousands upon thousands upon thousands. And on the remaining 24 F-150s, you can get the special APR and employee pricing and rebates. Come and see us.
Employee pricing at Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford, on every brand new Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off 540 in Salisal.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. There's a slight chance of seeing a shower. Thunderstorm high temperatures into the low 90s. Mainly clear, low 70s tonight, and then Thursday, sunshine, low 90s. Friday, we're back to sunny skies and a high in the low to mid 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 65 days. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
One out away from something that's much bigger than a win in Omaha. The 1-2 pitch. He struck him out swinging. Gage Wood no hits him, and the Hawks win it 3-0. The greatest game ever pitched at the University of Arkansas. Here in downtown Omaha, Gage Wood throws a no-hitter.
Their names revered, their spirits true. Echoes of greatness in all they do. With courage and strength, they claim their place. Forever remembered, time cannot erase. In the Hall of Fame, where heroes shine. Stories echo through the sands of time. The legends roll to the top of their game. Eternally honored in the Hall of Fame.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
All right, it is hour number 2 of the Morning Rush here on a Thursday. I got a text from Seth. Seth loves ChatGPT, which has Arkansas going 7-5 this season with wins over the Texas A&M Aggies, the Missouri Tigers, and against Auburn and some other teams as well. Memphis. I take 7-5 like you were saying right there.
Yeah, I mean, sign me up today. I know that, that's not exactly what any of us would love to have for the season, but hey, 7-5 based on expectations. I think a lot of people that at least meet their expectations. So it's gonna be really creepy if ChatGPT is just 1,000% accurate on that. Hey, one of the places that you want to put down for your weekend ahead and for your summer ahead is Uncorked, Phoenix Avenue, next to Sodi's in Fort Smith. One of our favorite places to spend some time. 4:30, 5 o'clock into the evening before you head to the house. Great place to have maybe a cold beer after work or sit on the patio with your friends. They got those big fans going. Thing I love about the patio at Uncorked, not only is it great shade and very comfortable, but the furniture out there, you've sat out there, the furniture outside is just like, I don't know where Scott bought all the cushions and everything, but they are primo. And you can sit out there. You don't need the fire tables and the fire pits and all that this time of the year, but at night and stuff, sometimes those are fun to turn on. If you go in there for the second round of the draft, see where Duth the Arrow gets taken, they'll have those TVs on out there. So I like it because you can have what I call adult conversations. You're not shouting over the noise of the building. You're not shouting over the house band that's drowning out the conversation. If you and your wife only get to go out ever so often, you want to have conversation. And Uncorked is the perfect atmosphere for that. Uncorked, Phoenix Avenue, next to Sodi's in Fort Smith. Reservations always welcome for dinner online at uncorkthefort.com. Just like it sounds, uncorkthefort.com. Make your reservations now at Uncorked, Phoenix Avenue, next to Sodi's in Fort Smith.
We also asked this question, as you heard the intro coming in. Gage Wood's cleats, for those that don't know, are heading to Cooperstown. They might already be there when it comes to what he was able to accomplish in the no-hitter in Omaha, Nebraska. So we asked the question, what items belong to the Arkansas Sports Radio Hall of Fame? I came up with a few things like Paul's KATV might put the late Paul Eels, Clay Henry, one of his fly rods, Rick Schaefer's binoculars. We got a few other texts as well that they should put a White Claw for me in the Hall of Fame. Someone said I mentioned earlier the Gaston's pause. I don't know if we put like a poster or something out, Tommy, and just have. I know there's a sign. Where's that sign at? I've seen that sign before driving to Gaston's, but
they've got billboards everywhere. I mean, that's where the idea for the pause came from. But really, that was part of the inspiration. The other part was Terry Wallace, the late track announcer at Oaklawn. He would do that with the track conditions because he learned some fellas up in like New York watching on the simulcast would wager on a pause, and he didn't do it on purpose, but he had a pause, and sometimes it was the satellite connection pausing. And then when he found out there were wagering on his pause between today's track conditions are fast. Well, we kind of borrowed and married those two things together. So first class time, every time. That's the origin of it.
Hacker says Sterling Center Ridges, and that's the truth. That's another good another good call when it comes to sports radio. All right, let's keep the Hall of Fame conversation going and bring in our buddy Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports Arkansas Democrat Gazette via the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Tom, Gage's shoes in the National Baseball Hall of Fame, which is pretty cool. I know you're a Capitals guy, but have you gone to Cooperstown or one of the other Hall of Fame sports related or outside of sports too?
Well, good morning, guys. Always a pleasure, and that's a great question. What's really weird about me, I've not been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. I haven't been to Cooperstown. I haven't been to the Hockey Hall of Fame, and I haven't seen a ton of sports movies. I mean, I've seen some or read sports biographies. I don't know what it is about me, but anyway, the answer is no, but I think it's a great thing that his cleats are there. I mean, he's a part of history now, and not only did he do it after a 60-year pause and no hitters, but he did it in an era where lineups are deeper and there's just more, livelier bats and all that kind of stuff. And he was just so overpowering. And I watched it on TV, and you could see in his eyes, there was a certain edge to his face, his demeanor, as that no-hitter was evolving that was really uncanny. So very happy with that. And I have a suggestion on your Arkansas
let's hear it.
Sportscasters. I've got Bob's tape recorder, and I don't know if I'm ever going to really do anything with it. So I would say Bob's tape recorder would be a good
Absolutely.
addition.
That would be about as high up there as it is. We got also a text, guys. Mike Nails headset from the 1994 national championship winning season, and again, there's iconic things. And I was Tom and I obviously knew we were going to have you on this morning. I didn't know if Bob had an old typewriter that the recorder would be a good one, but I guarantee you there's some really cool Bob Holt stuff over the course of history, considering he covered the Razorbacks for over 4 decades.
Oh, no doubt. He had a whole ton of media guides, and he had a bobblehead collection and and all that kind of thing that, I haven't seen it all in his house for a few years, but he's got that stuff.
Yeah. Tom, to step outside of the Hall of Fame stuff that we're talking about, I know you're probably interested in hearing from Remy Cofield today, who is the general manager for Arkansas Athletics. And I know the announcement was made and hadn't really gotten a chance to hear from him. I know Hunter said some things, and we've seen some press releases and whatnot. But for a guy that covers multiple sports on the Arkansas campus, what are you interested to hear from Remy Cofield today?
Well, we asked for interviews from, pretty much the very beginning when he was hired, and it's been a long time in coming to be able to talk to him. I think, obviously it's fair for him to get the lay of the land and, to kind of see what the university is about, the direction the department wants to go in with NIL and all the things he's responsible for. And so I get that. But, his background, he was with the Celtics. And now he's handling football as the major sport, although men's basketball is a really big deal here. But how is the hiring of his staff coming? Hunter told us at the event in Bentonville for the Razorback tour that they would flesh out that staff and hope to have several people in place, I think, by August the 1st. So I'm sure they're interviewing and just setting up what each position will be charged with and all that kind of stuff. So there's a ton going on. What he thinks the House settlement means for how and what revenue sharing will mean to Arkansas in particular. What's going on with Olympic sports? The ones that don't generate revenues. Their athletes aren't going to be on the same scale or maybe even involved at all in what the revenue sharing leads to. So there's a ton of questions for Remy, and I've seen him over in the AD's box at baseball games, but now to really get to meet him and ask some questions is going to be really nice.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting to find out how he spent time building the relationships with the head coaches. How much time has he spent with John Calipari, Sam Pittman, Courtney Deifel, Dave Van Horn just getting out of his season? How much of their vision does he understand? We know there's been some reports from Richard Davenport. He's been on recruiting visits. I want to learn as much about what is the job really going to be. General managers, I've got a title similar to that. It covers a lot of things. It has a lot of responsibility. How far reaching is his authority? And when it comes down to it, who breaks the ties? Because he can't work for the coaches. I just wonder how it's all set up. I got a gazillion questions on how this is going to work.
All right. Well, come on down, man, or come on up. But yeah, you're right. What they're you have to, if you're the GM, you have to enmesh yourself in the culture of the department. And that does mean getting to know these coaches, what their budgets are going to look like. Who's more important in recruiting and all kinds of different things. So, and for that reason, it's probably been this amount of time since he was hired before he conducts media interviews. So he has a better grasp on that. But here we go. I mean, we're entering this new era. Tommy, and you and I have discussed over and over how, when it first, we talked about the Wild West and unregulated, and all that seemed to be pretty much on target. And now, will revenue sharing lead to more equitable recruiting and more equitable disbursement of money across the board? I don't know. I mean, this College Sports Commission, which they're setting up, I think it needs to have some teeth. So if you're going outside the bounds, if your NIL deals are suspect, then there needs to be some enforcement to that. And I don't know if he'll be in position to answer those kind of questions, but to me, it's all part and parcel of what do you want college athletics to be? Do you want it just to be that the teams that spend the most are always going to be at the top?
Yeah. Tom, you bring up an interesting point. I want to play, I don't know if you've heard this yet. I want to play this clip from former Razorback coach and current Illinois coach Brett Bielema talking about tampering for a sec.
Did lose a guy to Georgia. Somehow he found his way to the portal, and 12 hours after being in the portal, he was on a flight to Georgia. I don't know how that happened, but it's crazy.
Weird. You mentioned teeth. I know one of the big issues in all of this in the portal has been tampering. How high up on the list is giving that commission teeth to enforce that?
Yeah, and I didn't even discuss that in my little spiel right then. Tampering's been a huge part, how quickly these kids make decisions. So who are their agents talking to? Are they talking to these guys' reps? Are they getting to the players while they're still under scholarship or / contract with other schools? Because that goes against the nature of contract. So, yeah, there are teams I think that, want to play by the rules, and if they feel like there's been tampering going on, I applaud Brett Bielema for saying something about that.
Tom, on the subject of recruiting, I know that's transfer portal related, and I know your coworker Richard Davenport, who we had on yesterday, handles this. But just recently, Danny Beal, who's a 4-star defensive lineman out of Cross Country, commits to Oklahoma State. And if he ends up signing with the Cowboys, it'll be 3 straight years, according to 24/7 Sports, that the best in-state recruits leave the state. And they've got 5 4-stars, according to 24/7 Sports on this list. Is the biggest issue in all this just money? Why hasn't Arkansas had success with some of these in-state kids at the top of their class?
That's a great question. It caused Arkansas fans to fret online, as you guys are well aware. And I do believe that money. And Sam Pittman has alluded to this in some of his recent conversations with us late in the football season and then during spring, that these are business decisions and they have a certain basically salary structure, if you want to call it that, with their current roster. And if a kid is asking for what an established guy who's already proven himself in the SEC is asking for, then sometimes they're just not going to be in the ball game. So that's where Arkansas got behind in the NIL setups with other programs, including Ole Miss. So yeah, I do believe that, and I'm not referencing that specifically in this case, but I do believe money, NIL opportunity, is a factor.
Yeah. So I'll be interested to see what standards the Southeastern Conference and the member schools agreed to. If a level playing field is truly of interest, and I don't know how much it really is there a standard set? 65% is going to be spent on football. And if so, if that becomes to pass, how's a school like Kentucky or maybe even a school like Arkansas that want to invest a little more in men's basketball or baseball or some other sport, how do they balance all of that? I'll be interested to learn more about how the league as a whole tries to level the playing field with football, and is there a required minimum spending number?
That is a great question. I mean, and the programs that are bathing in the money, I mean, A&M comes to mind. I mean, Texas has got a ton of money. Bama, we know the ones who just have the most revenue. They will want it to be where they can maximize their football opportunities and keep that edge to let athletes know out there that they've got more money to work with. And I mean, Arkansas has been dealing with that factor for many years. I mean, before NIL came in, it was still a factor when a lot of recruiting was happening under the table. So I don't know the solution to it because you're right. Arkansas has, I mean, you look at conference championships over the last couple of decades, Arkansas crushes everybody because they're winning in track and field, and they've got a softball one of recent vintage and things like that. But their programs have been more balanced in terms of strength across the board. And, football necessarily hasn't been of the compete for the SEC title caliber in recent years as much as the fans would want it to. But I just think the powers that be, the biggest spenders, are going to want to keep football spending up there to where the Arkansas, Kentucky, South Carolina, Mississippi States struggle to keep up.
Yeah, but I would imagine Kentucky will want to stand on the conference table because, by God, we want to put our money into basketball. And you're not going to force us to put it in the foot. Can't you see Kentucky just raising nine kinds of hell that they don't want to? They're going to be the one program that doesn't want to invest it in football. They want to have carte blanche to do what they can with basketball.
Exactly. That would be them, and there'd be some others. Arkansas would be among those that want to keep the basketball very relevant. But yeah, I'm sorry. That was the end of my thought.
No problem.
That's good. Tom, we'll leave it there, brother. Appreciate you joining us as always. Good stuff. And we'll hear what Remy Cofield says at 1:00 later today, man.
Yeah, that's going to be fascinating. Talk to you guys later.
All right. Hey, Tom Murphy with us as we head into the final weekend of June. And one thing you might want to do today is maybe have a walk down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. It's Throwback Thursday. They'll roll out some of the famous Cuco platters today, and you can enjoy those. I'm telling you, if you had one of these, Ty, these are full-size platters. They've got a little bit of everything on it. It is it's a fat man's paradise. If you love great Tex-Mex, the Cuco's platters are there for you, and they've got them. Saturday's Endless Enchiladas. They'll have the sizzling fajitas tomorrow. There's a lot of great reasons that you can stop in at Joe's. Great food, even better service, Tex-Mex style at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps. It's Joe's Grill and Cantina.
So I don't pretend to be a recruiting expert by any stretch of the imagination, but when I'm reading this story on Hogs on SI, and then I'm just kind of doing my own research, you got nearly 20, it's like right around 20 3-star better kids in the state. And two of the top 5, which are all 4 stars, are committed to two Oklahoma schools. Danny Beal, who we just mentioned, is going to Oklahoma State. It looks like he's at least committed there. And then you've got another kid that's committed to Oklahoma. 2 years ago, you only got 2 of the top 5 players in the state, which were also 4 stars. Tom mentioned the money aspect as well. But, Tommy, I would think winning also has to factor into this. And not to say, like, Oklahoma State was awful. You should have lost to them last year. We know that. But they were terrible last year. They either went 4-8 or 3-9. Oklahoma wasn't that good this year. Yes, they beat Alabama, but they didn't have a good season under Venables, too. And Matt always talks about this. Matt Jones, who you'll hear from in about 40 minutes on halftime. It is that's got to be concerning if you're an Arkansas fan. You're watching the best players in your state commit elsewhere and move on. I realize that you haven't, like, since Arkansas football's inception, you haven't gotten every single in-state player. But when you're missing out on 60+% of the top in-state guys in your class, to me that's a major issue, is it not?
Well, if you can't keep your best at home, how are you going to get the best elsewhere?
And I realize, like, I know Sam Pittman's alluded to the transfer portal and the value there, and those kids will help you now versus the kids that you have to nurture and get stronger and everything else. But you think about Carius Kern last year, number 1 offensive lineman in the state, goes to LSU. Think about Beal if he ends up going to Stillwater. I mean, those are 2 anchors in the middle on the line of scrimmage, or at least on the line of scrimmage, maybe not necessarily the middle. I'm seeing that, and again, I'm not privy to everything that happens behind the scenes via those kids, via Arkansas football recruiting and everything else, but that has to jump out to you in the wrong way when it comes to Arkansas football and what they're trying to do and accomplish in the Southeastern Conference, which, by the way, Richard had a great piece that came out earlier this week. You're already behind as a state when it comes to in-state recruiting and the talent that it's produced, and you're still not getting the majority of the top dogs, which, again, is a little alarming if I'm an Arkansas fan.
10:21 here on the Morning Rush. We're brought to you by the Booyah Mobster. The Booyah Bait Company's made right here in Fort Smith. It's the hottest swimming jig on the Arkansas River right now. And the Booyah Mobster is designed by the Muddy Water Mob in Arkansas and Oklahoma. And it's winning tournaments everywhere. Lake Dardanelle, Lake Kerr, you think about the Arkansas River pools and those tournaments, they're kicking butt there. So if you're looking to fish in submerged or matted grass, you need the Booyah Mobster on your boat. So get it in your tackle box today. Go to lurenet.com. That's lurenet.com, and look for it by name, the Booyah Mobster.
All right, when we come back, SEC update. How does Arkansas fare in the Southeastern Conference this season, according to chat? We'll ask him. Plus, there was a funny incident last night featuring a former Southeastern Conference basketball player when he was drafted. All that is next.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
This is former Razorback, wide receiver, and All-American track and field athlete Richard Smith, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Evan Cohen here. According to a recent ZipRecruiter survey, 76% of employers plan to expand headcount for 2025. If you're one of these employers, add ZipRecruiter's latest feature, Zip Intro, to your hiring plan. It does most of the work for you, so you save time. Just pick a time, and Zip Intro finds and schedules qualified candidates for you. You can even meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
Hey, this is former Razorback pitcher Kevin Kopps, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. With an unheard of 15-year spring warranty option, Grit is the team you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR.
Hey, Ty Richardson, back in my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria in downtown Fort Smith here with Brooklyn, one of the new gals. Y'all got a great special on Monday, Brooklyn.
Yes, we have our $3 domestic drafts, our Bud Lights, Miller Lights, Coors Light, Yingling, Shinerbach, Michelob Ultra, some super cold mugs, and 10 wings for $8.95.
Come on by and see us at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Whether you're opening your first checking account, purchasing your first home, saving for your first big vacation, or opening a new business, First Star Bank offers hometown service with the latest in digital banking technology. Our local team makes banking fast, convenient, and easy. From simple everyday banking to helping you fulfill your dreams, our team is here to guide you every step of the way. First Star Bank. We'll be there through all your firsts. Learn more at firststar.bank or stop by one of our local branches today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Can you explain the infield fly rule? Neither can I, but I can help you navigate a variety of legal issues, from divorce to personal injury to estate planning. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions, a new law firm offering affordable flat fees with payment plans available. You get an ace at the price of a minor leaguer. Now that sounds like a grand slam to me. Call Mock Legal Solutions for your free consultation, 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight.
About the tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally held the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Game 12 versus Missouri on November 29th. Hogs notched their 7th win. The week before, Drink will mispronounce Sam Pittman as Ham Pittman. It's a final home game with motivated senior heavy group. Arkansas outpaces Missouri in trenches, tempo, and crowd support.
7-5. Chat thinks that's what your football team's going this season. Take it right now. Hands up. Golden hands up. Tommy hands up. I don't think there's a single one of us that wouldn't take 7-5 with wins over Missouri, Texas A&M. Take it right now. Auburn, Mississippi State, 4-4 conference-wise. Don't know if it's going to play out like that. I hope it does. Man, I hope it's better than that. But interesting thought. There again, there's animosity. This is kind of, you know what's funny is taking in the dynamic between Pitino and Cal in Providence, where neither would actually say they hate each other, even though they don't. Like, you can just tell you don't like each other. They don't. It's okay. Just say it. But you don't want to give the other team ammo. I get that. It's not as obviously historic. It's not two Hall of Fame coaches or anything else, but you can tell Pittman and Drink don't like each other. It's not hard to pick up on. Pittman has respect for a lot of coaches in this league, and vice versa too. But I don't know if it's there mutually between those two. That's at least what I pick up. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not, but it is funny to watch the dynamics leading up to that game. And hopefully Arkansas can win for just the third time since Missouri has joined the SEC. I mean, think about it. You have beaten Texas A&M and Missouri combined 3 times since they joined the league in 2012. 3 times since 2012.
Doesn't work. I mean, and this isn't a program. This isn't like Alabama. You know, this isn't like a program that's got a proud tradition of great football. You got to beat Missouri. I mean, you got to beat the M schools. We talked about that. You got to win 2 of those 3 to have to come close to having a decent year.
Mm-hmm. What's Chad has you doing against Mississippi State and Missouri? So maybe it could turn out to be a decent year.
Don't play all the 3 M's anymore. You know, not guaranteed.
Nope, starting 2026.
And that's a bad deal.
You think they go to Norman first game, or they Sooners come here?
Let's see. We go to Texas. Think Sooners come here. Just based on you're going to flip-flop that opponent in and out. I mean, that's not set in stone, but if you ask me to guess, I'm going to say Sooners come here. And I'm basing it on the fact that you're going to Texas. So if they kind of swap that opponent in and out, that's probably how it's going to work.
Okay. Well, we just were fiddling with some stuff for SEC Media Days during the break. I was reading Wally Hall's column this morning, Whole Hog. Media is Tommy's 9-23 in predicting SEC champions. He thinks they're going to pick Georgia again. Texas was picked, I think, second last year, and they ended up coming in second, so they got that right. But curious to see. I am curious. Who is the front runner? Because Georgia lost a lot. They lost their starting quarterback in Beck. They lost a lot of guys like they do every year. Tennessee lost Nico. Alabama doesn't have Jalen Milroe. LSU is probably going to be my pick as the SEC champ. But Brian Kelly hasn't shown that they can get over that 9-3, 10-2 spot yet, which maybe wins the SEC or at least gets you to the championship game. But they're, for the first time in like a decade and a half, you don't have that surefire front runner that's going to come out of this week here in a couple days or a couple weeks. I'm going with Vanderbilt. They beat Alabama last year. They were hot. Going with Clark Lee and the Commodores this year. That'd be nuts if they ended up getting to Atlanta, Georgia, which will be here in a couple weeks. All right, last thing in your SEC update. So NBA draft last night. Not a lot of Arkansas tie-ins. Adu Thiero is the only one that could be selected. Didn't get selected last night. You might have it tonight. The funny thing, there's a couple funny things that happened, but you remember Colin Murray Boyles at South Carolina, who ripped you apart in, I think, 2 games? Here is the announcement of his draft selection. What's funny is what he ended up saying.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Toronto Raptors select Colin Murray Boyles from the University of South Carolina.
So I don't know if you caught this last night. He gets drafted. First thing out of his mouth, clear as day, is the F-bomb, that he's going to Toronto. So my thought when this happened.
Presidential.
Yeah. What NBA town would you want to get drafted by? And they've got 2 expansion teams. So if you wanted to say, well, I wish I wanted to get drafted by the expansion team that's going to Seattle or going to wherever. But I have 3 that I put down. Oklahoma City, because it's my favorite team in proximity to Arkansas.
Okay.
Boston for winning titles, the best franchise in the NBA. And then I really do like Indianapolis particularly. There's great golf there. So those would be the 3 options, 1, 2, 3. I don't really want to live in LA or New York.
Nope. I don't want state taxes of California or New York.
Orlando wouldn't be bad. But
that was going to be my first the Magic, but you're not going to a very good franchise there. So we're in Texas. Spurs, they're storied franchise, but they're kind of off times. Dallas wouldn't be bad.
I'm going to be honest. 75% of my friends live in Dallas.
Yeah.
And I love going. I would never live there in a million years.
No, a ton of
because of
traffic.
That's the only thing.
Maybe one time in your life you've ever been to the Metroplex, they weren't working on the road.
Yeah, and the other thing, there's just like, and I talked to my uncle about this. So there is this, it's like this in other big cities, and to a certain extent it's like this in Bentonville, but there's just like this vibe that I just don't vibe with at all. Like just the bouginess, the extra curriculum, like just all this stuff, the ambiance and everything else that I'm just very plain Jane, very middle class, very simple. and you've always got to just stop. There's always that like keeping up with the Joneses vibe in Dallas, and every time I get down there, it's worse and worse. And again, I love visiting. I love Arkansas events that are down there. Arkansas's playing Tech, I think the 13th of December. Maybe you'll play them. Maybe you'll be down there for some other sporting event in the future. But yeah, that's why I don't want to go to Dallas, because the keeping up with the Joneses and the
I want at least half my games to be in a state that doesn't charge state income tax. So send me to Texas or send me to Florida.
Go to Houston. The traffic's worse in Houston than it is Dallas.
Ooh, yeah, that's for sure. All right, SEC update brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions. 2 locations for Matt and Jackie and the crew at Mock Legal Solutions to take care of every need, every worry. Because if you're needing an attorney, a lawyer, you have anxiety, you have worry. You have worries about what it's going to cost. You have worries about the outcome. And they help alleviate a lot of those concerns at Mock Legal Solutions. They understand that, legal representation is expensive, but they also understand that you don't have a $5,000 retainer laying around. They also understand that you want to understand easy to comprehend flat fees, monthly payments you can afford, and get you set up on something that's not adding to the anxiety of your already fragile situation. They're in Oklahoma and in Arkansas, a location in Salisaw and a location in Fort Smith, so they can take care of your legal needs either side of the state line. 479-769-1505 is the main number, 769-1505, or go to mocklegalsolutions.com.
I was, as the NBA draft was going on, Cooper Flagg goes off the board first last night. No surprise. What did you say?
Plain Jane, normal people don't do 77 weddings every year from JT in Hot Springs on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline.
Can't really push back on that. I really can't. But as I'm watching this NBA draft, and I'm seeing stuff today, Larry Johnson, Derrick Rose, who obviously played for Cal, LeBron James were drafted on this day. I was thinking about players you went up against in college as an Arkansas basketball fan, and guys you actually enjoyed watching. And I think for a lot of people, when Larry Johnson told Nolan Richardson to go get some men, and he did, that is a moment in time you remember as a fan watching an opponent be like, I kind of have respect for that guy. I don't have to like him, but I at least respect him. So I was thinking, what is the player that I've not necessarily liked but respected the most that walked into Bud Walton Arena? And ironically, he's on Arkansas staff. It's Tyler Eulis. Okay. I remember as a junior in college, we got housed the year before against Kentucky in the SEC championship game and in Lexington. It was bad. I lost money. I joke with Manny about this. Manny had a shot. I think the line was like 18.5. And if Manny hit a three-pointer, we would have only lost by 18 points, and I would have won like $100. Well, he missed it. We lost, and I lost out on $100. And I remember that next year, that team came in. I think Jamal Murray was on it with Eulis, who was a freshman the year before. We're about to run these guys out of the gym. They won 80-66. Tyler had like 24 points, ripped us up the entire game. But that is the player that I remember the most being like, man, I respect you. I don't have to like you, but I respect you and what you do on a basketball court. So is there a guy that's been drafted recently, a guy you remember, you're like, man, I don't have to like you, but what you just did in Bud Walton or Barnhill, got to give you your kudos. Got to give you your credit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, those type of performances, all the things you kind of went through a few minutes ago, all stick with you. So, I mean, I get where you're coming from there. Think about right now, a lack of sports. And I know last night the NBA draft was kind of front and center for most of us. I saw where Adu Thiero is the 4th best player on the board according to ESPN. So hopefully he's taken early in the second round. I heard Chuck and Bo talking earlier this morning, ended a streak of 17 consecutive years that John Calipari had a first-round player. But, hey, just because we're here at the end of June doesn't mean sports are over. You got Major League Baseball in full swing. You got the PGA, the LIV Tour, Caitlin Clark and the WNBA all there. And the Oakland Sports app has it all. The best MLB, golf, and soccer, tennis, table tennis, and a whole lot more. New customers can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets, plus ask about the 10% profit boost for new and existing customers. And funding, never been easier with Oakland Sports. Debit and credit cards, PayPal, ACH, Venmo, and on-site cash all make it easy with the Oakline Sportsbook. Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oakline Sports.
All right, so we've got our final segment coming up in just a bit. I want to go back to some of the things we've been discussing about Remy Cofield. We were talking with Tom Murphy about that earlier. I still think there's some meat on that bone when it comes to Arkansas's general manager and how he's going to go about his business. Because, again, this is the first time, Tommy, since he's been on campus, that we've gotten a chance to hear from him. So I think there's a lot of things that could come out of the conversation later on.
What have you been busy doing? And I think probably a lot of it spending time with coaches and programs and understanding the task that's ahead. We're talking about Hall of Fame items for an Arkansas Sports Radio Hall of Fame. And you mentioned first-class time. Every time should be in there. You know, if you think about the sport of fishing in our state, it's as big as anything. Deer hunting, fishing, more Arkansans participate in that than anything else. And at Gaston's, it's the premier place for trout fishing in all of North America, not just Arkansas. We are so fortunate to have the White River here and to have the trout that spawn naturally in the White River below the Bull Shoals Dam, to have the hatcheries we have in this state that create not only a great sporting opportunity, but a great industry for our state as well. Gaston's is at the center of all of that. Great rooms that overlook the White River. Not rooms, I'm underselling it. Cottages, private cabins, your own lodge to overlook the White River. And they got a variety of sizes and floor plans that fit your needs, whether there's 2 of you going or maybe 22 of you going or more. They have a conference center on-site landing strip for planes with their grass airstrip out there. They got nature trails and so much more, plus a great restaurant that overlooks the White River that you can have a great meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 870-431-5202 is their number. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
The best mornings
in the morning light.
start with Wrangler.
Jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot.
I put my blue jeans on. I put my blue jeans on.
Good mornings make for better days.
Put my blue jeans on. I put my blue jeans on.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Hey, this is Landon Jackson, and you're listening to ESPN Arkansas.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling. The Golf Nut is thrilled to introduce new products for 2025, including Cobra Dark Speed Adapt Woods and Irons, Ping G440 Woods and Irons, and TaylorMade QI35 Woods. Lap putters, including the latest OZ model, are also available. Whether you want to improve your swing or enjoy the game, the Golf Nut offers a range of options. Book a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators and experience golfing greatness. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue for your ultimate golfing destination.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing, and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Answer the phone.
Is that my phone?
Well, I tried calling.
Call us immediately on the hotline.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963.
Call the hotline. Anything to add, Coach? Actually, yes. Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing. I want you to deal with your problems.
Serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee.
So, one of the things that has come up is
I don't know if there's a fan base in all of sports right now that is more disgruntled with management than the Dallas Maverick fans are with Nico Harrison. He drafted Cooper Flagg exactly like they wanted him to last night, and they're still, Tommy, at the Dallas Mavericks draft party, chance of firing Nico.
But I don't know what my response. I mean, it's sports. They're fanatics. They're not rational. I mean, it's the result of last season, right? You shouldn't be picking high. Another thing I noticed, and maybe I missed this.
Let's hear it.
How did Rutgers basketball do this last year?
Oh, they're terrible.
Less than 500.
How did you exactly? I had to go look that up. How the hell do you have a record that bad with 2 draft picks? What am I missing here? What dot am I not connecting?
Everybody else wasn't
2 in the
playing
first
basketball.
5 picks.
Yeah.
You talk about a fan base that should be mad. It should be Rutgers.
It's Ace Bailey. Who is it? Dylan Harper.
Mm-hmm.
My God.
By the way, Dylan Harper's mom,
Bing bong.
the star of the show, Mrs. Maria Harper, stole this show. Who are you talking? Who are you talking about? When we talk about drafts, you're always like
Miss Harper, the Johnson Valley PTA.
Yeah. There's always
You don't have a clue what I'm talking about, but for the old heads out there,
Who is that? Is that
Jenny C. Riley or whatever sang the song, that old country song.
Okay.
Harper Valley PTA.
Who you were bringing up?
Mrs. Johnson.
You were bringing up someone's mom or girlfriend a few weeks ago during an NFL draft. I cannot think of who it is.
Zach Wilson?
Yeah, Zach Wilson's mom's up there. Sometimes it's the mom, sometimes it's the girlfriend, sometimes it's a sister, but oftentimes
Jeannie C. Harper sang that song. Anyway.
Okay. Oftentimes the that person overshadows the actual draft pick in the MLB, NFL, and NBA draft, and he outshined her. She outshined her son last
talent.
week.
More talent than just what's being drafted. Hey, are you looking for rock, aggregates, sand, top quality aggregates, ready mix concrete, asphalt, all those things that go into a job site. Maybe you're an engineer that's speccing out things for your job. Maybe you're the contractor that needs the crushed limestone or the crushed gravel for the specific job and specifications. APAC and Standard Materials Group is the only call you should make. 479-587-3300. They have their own quarries. They have their own dredging, so they can give you the best quality sand, rock, and ready-mix concrete and asphalt that you can get at the best prices. 479-587-3300 for all your rock, asphalt, and ready-mix needs. It's APAC and Standard Materials Group. 479-587-3300.
All right, so we were chatting with Tom earlier, multiple things, but talking about Remy Cofield, who's the general manager for Arkansas Athletics. You pointed out something in the first hour of the show, the relationship dynamics, not just within the players, but the coaches and Remy, and how he goes about that. I wonder, again, and Tom presented this idea, it's like from the distribution, like how much is each sport getting, which ones aren't getting money?
Oh, I imagine everybody's getting something, right? Maybe minutes.
I don't know that, and
I can't imagine someone's zero, right?
The only three sports.
That's a lawsuit waiting to happen if it's at zero.
Yeah, but wouldn't the same, and I don't know, I'm asking, wouldn't the same logic be applicable for the Arkansas Edge? If no one's getting any,
because you're not the Edge is private donations.
Okay.
We're talking about revenue sharing the department's actual dollars.
Okay.
I can't believe they're not going to do zero. I can't believe that. No, I don't think. But it may be 1%. Yeah.
Would Title
half a percent?
Title IX wouldn't be in a situation where
I don't know what Title IX. They've hidden behind Title IX for all my life, and now it's like Title IX doesn't exist anymore. As far as equalities and trying to balance scholarship number, I don't know. I don't. That used to be the thing. Well, you can't do that because of Title IX. Hey, can we remodel the bathrooms at Bud Walton Arena? Maybe update that. No, Title IX. How about lowering concession price? Up Title IX. Title IX. I mean, it was what they hid behind for everything.
It's like it was COVID 20 years ago, or it's COVID now.
I mean, it's just the reason for everything. So I don't know I don't know. We need an expert that could talk on that because Title IX's like been blown out of the water, right?
I guess
it seems like I'm sure I'm wrong on that. I'm sure I'm painting with a very broad brush that's inaccurate. But it doesn't seem like that's the concern it once was.
I haven't heard Title IX being brought up in a while, like
exactly.
you said.
So, craving something sweet today?
Yes.
Got a little sweet tooth? How about we make a little ride over to Andy's Frozen Custards, boys? We'll get in the car after the show. We'll go over there. We'll get maybe what's your favorite topping or mix to go in there?
Cookie dough, brownies.
Cookie dough, brownies. I'll go Heath Bar. We'll even spring for the little bit larger size, or get some orders around the office. We'll get the pick six so we can mix and match all of the favorite flavors for everyone on the team. Location on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, 2 in Conway, 1 in North Little Rock as well. Love us some Andy's Frozen Custards. Get their app as well. Walk up or drive through. They're ready to serve you at Andy's Frozen Custards.
All right, coming up on halftime to start the show, a special guest.
Deep right, McCarthy back, and this is gone. Andrew Benintendi on an 0-2 pitch. Deep to right, and the Sox are on the board.
Benintendi hit his 107th MLB home run last night, so congratulations on that front. He's joining halftime. Of course, one of Arkansas's 3 Golden Spikes Award winners. We had Kevin Kopps on early in the show. Behiva just won it this past Saturday, and now Benny Baseball's coming on here in about
Golden Spikes kind of day around here.
It is.
I think I told you when I was in Boston, I was going to the concession stand and ran into a kid that had an Arkansas baseball jersey on. I said, "What in the world are you doing with that?" And it was a Benintendi jersey. Turned around and showed me, and he was still mad he wasn't there.
They
loved him some Benintendi.
He was a rookie during that. I think it was either rookie or maybe second year on that team that won the World Series a few years ago under Cora. Zach would know more about it than I would, but yeah, they still do like him. Like I've listened to Boston sports radio, and they
love him some Benny Ball.
They still talk about him a little bit. So we've got a good lineup. By the way, we're going to have legendary SEC Ole Miss quarterback, New Orleans Saints Hall of Honor Archie Manning join us tomorrow at 10:30. Taylor Green's
the Godfather.
Yep.
I don't think they call him that much. I just did, but he kind of is,
you
right?
think about the quarterback position, there's not many more people synonymous than the Manning family with Eli, Peyton, and of course Archie. So we'll have him on at 10:30.
We're having Archie Manning on our show?
Yes.
Is he aware of this?
I think he thought it was another show. That's okay.
Did you tell him we were Chuck and Bo?
Yeah, I lied.
Okay.
I lied.
All right.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Vuya Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options. Colorado for maximum thump, Willow